many of you got this trade Friday. This is one of the many trades we took in our trading room. The buy, the silver. There was an up move, there was a flag, we take the entry, kept the stop here, that trade went. And I still think there's more to go, but I guess all my traders closed that trade for profit. And I hope you had a great week last week because our trading room did excellent. So if you don't know me, good afternoon. My name is Anil Mangal, and I created this new way of looking at the charts called wave theory, wave analysis. That is looking at it from my point of view, right? The way I look at it, it's different from what you would have learned if you learned Dow theory or Elliott wave theory. Because what we look at is not what the chart has to do, but what it is doing, which means Elliott wave has those rules-based, right? So the chart has to be, impulse has to be 5 waves. And what we're saying is that just look at the impulse and see what it's doing. It could be 5 waves, it could be 3 waves. It's irrelevant. It could have 7 waves in it. It's irrelevant how much waves it has. Patterns do not have to alternate. That's irrelevant. So we're looking for precise patterns that we know, and then we look at how they behave. Then we look for what we call confirmation of that behavior, and then you take the trade. So here's what it would look like. I know that once they made that move up, they're either going to, 2 things can happen. It could either drop, retest the low, or it's going to consolidate here and go up. So what you're looking for? You're looking for what it's going to do. So the first thing it did is it dropped. It made a flat there. You notice that flat there? And it dropped again. Now, you can look at this and say, well, this actually looks like a flat. So what's the confirmation for upside? Go, give me a flag. The first flag was this one. This was your second flag. That's the confirmation for upside. Now, you would say, why the hell do you need a confirmation if you have a flat? Well, that would be people who do not understand wave analysis, right? So if you understand wave analysis, you know the possibility of this thing doing this and dropping and doing this and dropping and doing this and dropping before it actually goes. And I will show you some of those patterns. You also know it could potentially drop and retest the low. I told you that at the very start. You didn't listen to me. See, that's the thing that confuses traders who do not follow wave analysis, is that they say, okay, this thing could go both ways. What should I do? Well, join us. You can join us, and we're going to show you what to do and how to do it. Remember, I created this method. If you want to know how popular this method is, you can do 2 things. Go on YouTube, you can go on YouTube and search Elliott wave theory, and then search wave theory. And see how much videos are going to pop up on Elliott wave theory and how much is going to pop up on wave theory. I guarantee you're going to get more on wave theory. Much, much more. Because that is what has become popular. Most of these guys have completed my course, so they kind of, they're looking at it differently from Elliott wave. Some of them still like to put the count on because it looks really sexy. When you have all those numbers and letters that jingling around and people like, oh my God, this looks sophisticated. This looks really complex. And oh my, I would never learn this. Well, guess what? Look at my charts and you can learn it. There are traders in my room doing it. It's doable. It's learnable. It's teachable. It's transferable. It's not that complicated as you might think. And you don't really need all those letters and numbers. You really don't need it. Look at all my charts. So we're going to go through all the charts today. Welcome to my weekly outlook. Let's go. Let's start. So dollar index. Let me give you, remember I said it could drop more? Remember I thought I'd show you some of those patterns where it could drop and it could go there and it could drop and it could come here and it could drop. It could come back to this low again. I'm going to tell you what it's going to do when it gets there. So let's go. Dollar index. The first thing you want to do is you want to go back. If you're watching my videos for the first time or you haven't seen many of my videos, you want to go back to this date when this thing was going up at the top here, when it started to make this first consolidation. Go back to any of my webinars in that date and you will hear what I would tell you. There is a high probability we're starting the downside on the weekly and the monthly charts. That would be this chart. And there's a high probability that now that we have broken this stop, now that this stop is broken, there's a high probability of this thing actually starting a down move to retest this low. No, not so fast. Not so fast. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, no, dude, that's crazy. You can't just decide that this thing is going to come and break this low and hope that that happens, right? Well, it's not hope. That's the thing. It's not hope. It's understanding how these patterns behave, right? The forecast is that once you see this corrective structure doing this, and this is not a forecast today. This was a forecast months ago, even before this up move happened, because we did make the forecast on that up move, right? It is actually going to happen. Now you may say, well, what are the chances it makes another flat here and go back up? Good. If that thought process came to your head, it means you absolutely understand something about wave analysis. It will break the top and still drop. Now, if you want to see a forecast like that, very similar to what I just showed you, with very strong movement up, and then actually drop to break the low, go to my Facebook page, look for pound dollar yearly forecast or monthly forecast, search through it, look for when the pound was at the top here, at the very top of this move here. See this move here at the very top of this move. And then look for this arrow coming to break that low. You will find it, it's there. Exactly what I show you in the dollar index. When it was at the top here, I said, guys, watch it. This was the correction. This here is the correction. The chances are once we break that top, we're going to come down. Now, it could go a little higher, right? There is no, remember, this is not magic. This is forecast. It could go a little higher, but then it's going to break because you've got a consolidation. Well, I was a little wrong about that, I have to admit, because I thought it would only break this low and then go back up. I didn't see this one coming. So remember this one here? Remember what I just showed you on the dollar index? It could make another flat and go one higher, one lower, but then it's going to go back up. Yep, see, this is going to go back up. See, you see what is forming right here? We are trading in this range here. See this range? We're trading in that range. That range is going to go up. Take a snapshot of that. Keep it. So if you don't believe what I'm telling you now, you'll come back to me later. So let's go back to the dollar index. How do you understand wave analysis and how you trade it? You don't do that in the weekly and the monthly. I'm just trying to show you what is going to happen. So very likely what we're doing is we are making a monthly, daily or weekly consolidation here to drop. That is very likely. And the reason I think so is because when you go into 4 hours, you can see that we kind of made a very, very slow move up. See that? And we're consolidating here. So right now, this consolidation could be a bigger consolidation for more up, or it could literally start to drop. Now, I'll show you what will happen for that. So what you're going to look for is you're going to watch for this to go back up. And then you're going to watch how high it comes into this move. And then you're going to expect that to go back down. Definitely you want that buy, and then you want this sell. And when that starts to happen, you can totally drop, or you can just break the low here and go back up. So you will get the buy, you will get the sell, and then when you get here, you're probably out of that trade already, and you would either look for the buy or the sell. Again, you remember what you're waiting for? Confirmation. So what will be the confirmation for the buy here? Pretty easy, don't worry. As soon as this goes up here and make a flag, we're buying that to break this top. That would be the first trade we'll be looking for next week. Now, what if this drops a little more? Not interested. Let it go. We'll wait for that move up. And then we'll look for the move down. So those are the two moves you're looking for in the dollar index. Silver, big picture, very quick. We're coming back to this top here. Now, whether we decide that all of this is a big correction for one more down, or whether it's taking off from this point, and we are going up to break this top, we're going up to break that top, we will see in this move going. So every flag we get, we're going to buy. Every correction we get, we're looking for a buy setup. Do I think this correction here is over? I think so. There is still one possibility open, if you understand better. There's still one possibility of this coming back and retesting this low before it goes. That still exists. But this will eventually go up. So dollar index will either eventually go down, and this will eventually go up. So the question is, do they consolidate here some more? Does dollar index consolidate and then go up some more, or does it actually start falling from there? That's all the difference. And here's the thing about wave analysis. You don't need to know that. right? This is not about guessing. This is about confirmation. This is a high probability trade. So we're looking for a buy setup, wait for a flag, buy. Gold, I think we missed the gold trade because we got a contracting flat, and normally when it's contracting flat, I don't trade. Some of my traders got in. They got in on this flag here. I didn't make the trade call because of the contracting flat. That is my fault. Every time I get a contracting flat, I tend to hesitate. But that's okay. We got this trade up and we got some more trades here. So now that we broke the top, what are we looking for? Let's go back here now. What's the big picture in gold? Come to break this top. Now, do I think this is the one that is going to go and break that top immediately? It's possible, but this is too sharp, and this is too sharp. So there's a good chance that we could make a deep correction here, go back there, come back here and go, well, kind of a big running flat in here. Here's what it looks like, something like this. So let me show you. See those sharp moves, and then they drop on sharp, go back there, drop sharp, pull back sharp, and then do that. So we're kind of making two sharp waves right now. We'll see how that goes. Any flag or flat or correction above the top here, we will buy. If it starts to reverse, we're not going to expect it to come down total. We're going to expect it to probably do this. Probably even come slower. Go back up, come back, and then go. Which means we'll end up with a big running flat here. That possibility exists. Now, if this is all the correction and we're going up, just wait for a flag buy. Wait for a correction buy. Don't buy here because it's moving. Euro. So Euro have similar structure. You got to move down. This is the move up from the bottom. You got to move down. You're kind of consolidating here. And that consolidation could go back to the top. You could get back to the top here and then drop. If we get a sell setup, we'll take the trade. Now, can this move go all the way to the top here and then come back? It could, but it's very unlikely. So when you're looking at wave analysis, you're looking at the patterns and you're deciding what is that pattern likely to do, right? Based on in all the other parts of the structure. Now, we broke the low. And once you break the low, then it's possible to do that. But that is unlikely, which means we'll be looking at this entire structure as some kind of an expansion. In terms of trading and the direction you'll be trading, that is irrelevant. This is the analysis. The analysis is the knowledge to know what are the possibilities, and then you decide, well, if I have these two possibilities, which one or what should I wait for before I decide that one of them is correct, right? It's very simple. You need to know what to wait for, what are the setups you're getting to decide which one of them is correct. And then if you use the good trade management, good risk management, and the best of all that you have to do is your trade management, then you're good. So good money management, good risk management, and good trade management, then you don't have to worry about the trade anymore. So what we're looking for, I think this has a chance of coming back here. Maybe go a little higher, but then maybe even retest this stop and then come down. So at this point, you could get a short-term trade, but if it starts to drop, we'll go with the sell. Right now, there's no trade setup. Pound, definitely we're looking for the downside. So we're not looking for a big downside, but I'm expecting this move. We know that that was going to go up. So those of you who were with me in the 1 week free that we did, remember we were buying Pong from here, and what I told you, Pong is likely going to go up, not down, and we're going to expect it to come to this top. So why am I looking for a sell next week? Well, it has to make a flat. You got 1, you got 2, we're going to make 3, and then we're going to go back to the top there. So we'll be looking for a sell setup because we were buying this up, and then we're going to be looking for a buy. Now, you may say, well, how do you know it's going to do? Well, let's watch. 1, 1, 2, 3, drop. 1, 2, 3, drop. Guess what we're doing here? 1, 2, 3 upside. Right? So we're at the top of this piece, and I can tell you that the first trade we'll be looking for on Monday morning is a trade coming back to retest this low. And if it does that, and it gives us the setup and it gives us the trade, we will trade it down here, and then we'll be buying it. Now, is this the move that will go? Maybe not. Maybe they come back up again like this, drop again, and then go. Maybe they come back up like this, drop again. But guess what? Every time they go up and you buy, if they don't give you the sharp move, they give you this one. If you don't get the sharp move, you get this one. And then you don't have to worry. You still have good trades. So downside and then up. Aussie. Okay. Aussie did what we expected to do. Nothing new. We didn't buy Aussie at the top there because we saw this pattern. 1, 2, 3. Once it tags the top, we're expecting it to come back. Aussie looks pretty flat. If you're looking at this piece, looks pretty flat. So depending on what happened here, you could get a consolidation and one more up, but the bigger picture is probably they're going to break the low and then go back up. Right? Or break the low and continue to go because Aussie's in a daily correction right now. So the trade I'll be looking for most likely is coming down, like the pound. Right? Let's see if we get that trade set up. If it consolidates here and make one more up, we'll decide on that trade. We don't have the setup for that. New Zealand. Okay, so that was a buy. Now it's probably going to come down. We're going to watch this low. We're going to keep an eye on this. There's a chance it's going to come back here and then go. Or it's going to break through that, make a new low. Right? So we'll decide which one it is. It makes a new low and then go, or it just comes back to this level and then go. We'll see. Most likely what you're looking for is a buy setup here now, if it pulls back as a correction. If this pulls back as a correction here, we'll look for a buy setup. If it drops, make a flag, we're selling. So when you're in this correction here, you have to decide whether this is going to continue to go or whether it's going to drop. You wait for the setup, you take the trade. We had a flag already, we bought it, it didn't go far, you close the trade. You wait for the next setup. Very likely, I think it's going to drop. This would have to come down. See this move down? It would have to come down here, make a flag, come here, go back up, and then this would be a nice flat for upside. So we'll see how that one goes, right? Let's go. Yen. Yen has to pull back and then drop. We broke the low here, so I think it's going to probably pull back here and then drop. All right, so once the low is broken, take this out. You're looking for a possible running flat pattern. Now, whether we get a trade to the upside, maybe not, but the downside is possible. And if yen is coming down, we're going to expect them to break this low. So we'll see what happens when it gets to that level. CAD, remember all these forecasts that I'm making is based on what we have right now in the charts. If for any reason something else happened and the move didn't go, the first or the next move didn't go the way you expect, or you didn't get a confirmation, then you just wait for the next piece to form and then decide if that pattern is still intact. And if it is the same pattern and you're still waiting for the same thing, the trade is a good one. Right? So dollar CAD, the big picture is this thing is going to go down first, right? In the medium term, let's put it that way. We'll expect this. If you were with us when we were doing the 1 week free webinar, remember what we said, this is coming to break that top? Well, that is exactly what happened. Now we're expecting this to come back and break the low before it goes back up. So is that happening right now? Well, it looks like it's happening because we got a very nice move down. We got a sharp move up and we're getting a consolidation here downwards. So this could probably drop one more here, but then it's going to go back up, break this top, and drop again. So if you notice, every move I'm showing you has an up and a downside within that structure. How do you trade that? Well, just like how we trade all of them. Right? Just like how you trade all of them. You wait for the setup here. You see this one will be down and then up and down and then up. So once you're trading like this, you take the trade. Some of the trades you take will not go. And that's where trade management comes in. Get out, wait for a different setup, go again. So this one most likely, if it consolidates here, will get a sell setup. Swiss. Okay. This doesn't have anything, and it's unlikely we're going to know which side it's going until you either break this top or you break this low. So if it comes here, break this low, then we'll have the first piece of correction there that might go back up, come back down, and then go. If they actually go really low, then it's a running flat like this, and then you're going to continue to come down, and then you're going to go back up, but then you're going to drop. So it all depends on how this piece behaves. Like, what do we see? What happens in there? Then we decide what pattern we get. And then we decide if we're going to go, right? If there's a trade to take. So that is what I see in all the majors. Now, if you want to see all of these charts that we have here, which all the euro, all the pound, all the yen charts, if you want to see all of that, join our live session. We have 2 live sessions daily that you can get access to. If you want, send me a Skype message. I'll give you all the details how you can get access to that. So first you would have to join, you would either have to join our group to get access to that and much more, or you can, if you can't afford to join the group immediately, you can pay an installment. As long as you start paying, you'll get access to these for free. You just have to start paying. And then you get access to them for free. Right? So I'll type how you can. You send me a Skype message at MANGGAL457. You can, if you don't get this, it's also in the description. Right? Send me a message and then I'll tell you how to get access and how to join our session live, where we actually trade live. Unlike most other groups where you get some signals and you don't know what to do with it, we have live trading that we follow up with. Wasn't that the best thing you want? You want to be in there. You want to see how we take the trade. You want to know all the details of the trade. You want to know where we're going to put the stop. And you want to follow up on that trade. So you get a follow up on the trade. We come in the New York session, a London session, you get a follow up in the New York session. If you're joining New York session, next morning London session, you get follow up to that. Exactly what we did with the trade. I'm going to do some crypto. So you guys, I'm going to do some of the stocks because I think oil, for example, is a good one. Oil kind of consolidating in the bottom here. If it makes a flag here, you start selling. If you see we broke the low. When you break the low, you're always cautious that they can go back up. Here's a good example. See, this was a good sell. It broke the low, it started reverse, which means you can go back up deep. So this could go back up deep if it consolidates in this range. If it comes lower, then we would look for a continuation of that sell. Let's go. S&P 500. I think I don't even have to, if you understand the way I look at chart, I don't even have to say anything here, right? You see this, you see this, you see this, you see this, and you start thinking, I think it's going to drop some more. Right? It's kind of going to drop some more. So we wait for flags and we sell. I think the same we can say for NASDAQ. Now we're at the top here. NASDAQ, this is the only one that I think could go up some more. Break that top. Even if it's going to come down, break the top before it does that. But on the shorter time frame, you notice we're getting a flag here. So this flag might give a trade, but it might be a very short-term trade, which means it might be like this and start to consolidate here before they go. They're very likely going to break. This is a nice trade we took because once we get that flag, we realize this is going to go to that top. Let's go with the US 30. Looks more downside. Even if they come back up here one more, it still looks more downside. Right? So once we get a confirmation for the buy, you can take the trade. And if it goes up, if it gives you a confirmation for a sell at the bottom here, you can take the trade. Bitcoin. Right? So Bitcoin, actually, we were expecting this to make a flat in here, a regular flat, which means this up move would come to this level, come back down here and then go. Well, it broke the top. No big deal. That doesn't change the structure. It just changed the pattern. So there's a very good chance. Every flag you get here, you'll buy above the top. But every time they break the top, you have to be cautious that they can make the sharp move here and then go. Right? So you would say, well, how do you know that is possible? We just looked at patterns that we know. So let's go back and see if you've ever seen a pattern like that. Let's say I'm going to keep this open. See that above the top there? Here, see this one above the top here? Drop. Right? Let's go to some more flats. See this one here above the top? Drop. I can find, I don't know, I can find tons of those to show you. That every time they go and they kind of, let me find some bigger ones, some very clear ones. These didn't have the running flats in them, so I'll have to go up, find one with a running flat. That broke the low, and then, no, these didn't break. These are regular flats. So this one is a regular one. You can see that, kind of a regular. There's another one in here that's kind of a regular one, so nothing there to watch. Let's find one that broke the, oh, we probably find one in here. Yep, there is a running flat. See, this one went up, break that top, but then drop, make this, and then go. So that drop is what you have to be cautious of if you're buying within a running flat. And then if you're buying within a running flat, always be cautious that they are going to pull back. I think there's a lot of running flat in the charts. You can go and find, I can go, so here's a good one. This might be a perfect one. See this one here when they drop and break that low? So this was a 1, 2, 3. It broke the low. Look what happened. Go straight back up to the top. And then watch how it dropped. See that confirmation there? Let me show you that. Let me make it a little bigger so you can see the confirmation for the sell. See this one here? See that correction there? Came to the bottom here, went right back up to the top. And look at the sell setup here. That was the first one. This was the second one. Which means when you get in the first one, you close, then you re-enter in the second one. Now, take that, for example, and come back here and say, Okay, see this one here? That's not enough. So there's a good chance it will pull back, right? So, okay, if you think it's going to pull back, no, sorry, this one here, that's not enough. So if you think this is going to pull back, it could make a flag, probably go, make a flag go, but then it pull back like this. Now, once you get the confirmation here, this becomes your trade to the upside. That's exactly the trade you want. So if you're going to buy, just be cautious and just be aware that that pattern exists. And that's where traders get takeoff. And guess what traders like to say when that happens? Oh, the broker hunt my stop. Right? When they're in the trade, they take a trade here, they take a trade very nice here, and it goes and it tags them, and then it pull back like this, take them out, and then start to go. They're like, oh my God, I just got hunted. I'm like, no, dude, that would have happened to you whether or not you had a stop there. Now think of the millions of traders who didn't have a stop there. Except you probably had a stop. Nobody else had a stop there. So they just went to hunt your stop. They moved that entire market just to get your stop with your one mini lot size. No. That's when you start to understand that there's much more to it than stop hunting, but it's called wave analysis. By the way, I have a video on stop hunting that you should go watch. And then you'll understand that doesn't exist. That's your imagination. And any trader will tell you that that's their imagination. At least in retail trading, that's definitely your imagination. So I did a few of this. I can probably do a few more for you. I'll probably do Ethereum. Let's go. Ethereum, we told you we expected to come to this top. And you see from this arrow here, we were expecting it to go there because this was the consolidation. So we make an assumption this is going to go. And it seems like it's going to go to the top. So here's what you would look for. This is what we call a regular flat. When this gets to the top here, the question is, do I think it's going to go all the way up, or do I think it's going to come back here? Well, if you ask me, I'm more likely it's going to come back, retest the low, then go, right? Because of the way it's structured. But that doesn't matter. If it's going to go up, you just wait for confirmation of flags and you keep buying. So let's go look at that, right? If this keeps going up, you just wait for the confirmation and buy. Remember the sharp one here? So don't be surprised if this gives you a sharp one here and then go, making a perfect running flat. So if you want to learn how to trade these patterns, identify them and trade them, join us. Send me a Skype message. And then you get live access. This is one of the only trading group, one of the few trading groups, if there's anyone else that does that has at least 5 live sessions a day. We literally have about 4 or 5 live sessions a day. I'm personally in 3 of those live sessions. 3 and more. Sometimes I'm in all 5, 6, 7 live sessions a day if we have a lot of news event. Every time there's a news event, we have a live session. You don't find a lot of trading groups out there with hundreds of traders in them. In any one session, we get about 15, 20 people. It doesn't matter what time of the day. Because we have hundreds of traders in the group. People are working. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're sleeping while some of us are awake. But we still get at least 20 people in the room, 15, 20 people in the room to do a session. So it means if you're there, you're going to have at least a couple traders with you to look at charts if I'm not there and take trades. Your choice. If you think you have a great idea that is much better than that could enhance wave analysis, much better, let's have a look at it. There are always traders with great ideas, but when it comes to reality, it doesn't work. I've tried everything. I've tried support and resistance. I've tried all the different methods out there. I've labeled my charts before. Go back and look at some of my old charts. You will see so much labeling in it. When I look at them now, they confuse me. And the reason I stopped using them, yes, because they're confusing. You just follow that thing of putting ABCs and WXYs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's pretty useless. A lot of them are, irrelevant to trading. You can add as much things you want to add to the charts. It might make you feel comfortable, but it really wouldn't make you trade better. Because the chart is going to do what it's doing, regardless of what you put in it. Whatever count you put, whatever lines you put, whatever fibs you put, whatever, moving averages you add, it's going to still do what it's doing, right? Regardless, it doesn't matter what I put or what you put, it's still going to do that. You can cover the charts up if you want with all kinds of indicators. They're not going to help you very much, right? You can do that. You get confused after a time. So you want to watch, if the best way for you to actually become a good trader is to trade, to literally trade, right? So you want to learn to play it as sports, you go in the field and you start playing. Of course, you need a coach. That's where I come in. You need a coach, I can show you how to do it right. Join us. Now we have a lot of pro traders in the group, so you don't have to worry. If I'm not there, somebody will help you. Now, if you want access to all the other cryptos, including all of these you see at the bottom, you see all these charts here, it charts our traders trade. I removed everything I had, and these are all charts of traders actually trade who are in the live session. They will ask me to look at it, and we will keep them on here for them. Most of them are traders, 1 or 2 traders trade them, right? Some of them, like this one, I think 1 trader just asks every day for it. Mexican peso, not a lot of people trade it. Aussie 200, I think there are a few people who trade that, but we still do the analysis for them. Because once you're in a live session, you get to ask for your charts and we do the analysis for you. So if you like what we do, join us. If you want to learn more about this, go look at all my webinars. Right? You can type Forex Trading Anil Mangal and you're going to get all my videos there. Have a great weekend. If you like the video, share it. There's much more you can see. If you would like to have the analysis of everything you see there, join our live sessions. Send me a Skype message and you'll get access to everything. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. I don't want to make it too long. Take care. Bye.